So, what I'm trying to say is we are the function of what we create. Like, whatever we do, that's what we have to live with the reality of. The basic 3D reality of doing whatever we do in the physical here, we basically have to live with. So, the physicality is what needs to change on the planet. If it's just more healthy with nature and everything, then everything will work good. But that's why the Hobbit Home Society has to be a part of, you know, the way of living. And the sunroofs wouldn't be over the Hobbit homes or whatever. They'd be in a pole in the air, the sunroof. And it would, the solar panel would have this angled lens, you know what I mean, towards the sun, but it would just be in a post. And these posts would be spread out, you know what I mean? So it wouldn't be so clustered. Like, on a house roof, you know how they cluster them on a house roof? Taking up too much space, you know what I mean? For land and everything. So that's why they would be all spaced out, but there'd be a lot of them, but able to have sunlight come through and they wouldn't like cloud it out, you know what I mean? Just like how the trees are kind of, that they're there. So it'd blend in with the trees kind of, but it'd be in sunny zones. Like, particularly by a Hobbit home. But basically, the Hobbit home can have trees around it because it can be heavy duty. A tree could land on it and it wouldn't probably break. Like, these are going to be meant to last too. So we're not going to keep on tearing it down to rebuild it again. It'd be meant to last. So what I'm trying to say is that all of this that we know to be true here on Earth right now, it can be changed. It just takes our will to do it. I don't know how to get around to these people into like setting an example to do with my money to buy land first and to see who can fundraise stuff. I could get flyers printed out so people can fundraise it. More people fundraise this type of land that I'm buying and spreading out the land, to make a Hobbit Home Society. Be with the woods, to be trails in Hobbit Home Society, but then in the larger zones, to be highways for the flying vehicles, higher technology, all integrated. Wouldn't have to pave roads anymore on the earth. So it would just be a function of life that'd be a little bit different, and we'd have to do different things to maintenance it because it'd have different functions or different maintenances to function. But we could all do that. Different realities and star systems live that way. They have to, because I've seen UFO spaceships with higher technology. And when I was on the bus, I seen this thing that looked like a balloon, and it was a star at first, but then it formed into like this blur, this like balloon type shape. Then it went back to a star, and then it went like this in a little U shape, and it went boom, and it was gone. It disappeared. So they have this technology for ever since I was born and beyond it. Cloning came out in like the 1980s or 90s. Cloning, and now we don't hear about cloning, but there's this new video game. It's called Eve, where these spaceships, you create your own spaceship, online spaceship game. There's different bases you can build. It's all in space, and it starts in a star cluster. There's a star cluster, and there's multiple. This is where the Garden of Eden would be, like different Edens. You know what I mean? That we created, and you could make allies turn against each other. Make uh, alliances with other clans instead of being allies with other people. You'd be alliances with other clans and everything. I just seen it on there, and it's really cool. But what I'm trying to say is that this is like putting it in perspective, like that video game, of like what it's actually like to be in the universe. You know what I mean? But it's an actual video game, and it's pretty cool. I would say it's a newer game, and it just came out. It's called Eve Online. It's pretty cool. But yeah, just because I seen UFOs multiple times in my life, and what I want to do is reach out with other people, and if they could come here, do interviews or whoever does that, you know, them type of things, that'd be cool because I have a lot to say, and I had a lot of experiences with a Wendigo creature that's all pale white with pointed ears, crest on its skull, sunken in eyes. You know what I mean? And it was like a demon type looking thing, and it ran when I was 17 in the fall when I was leaning back in one hand thinking about Kara Busher, and literally I thought about that. You know what I mean? Thinking about her out in the yard, you know, and then that's when it happened. And then the shadow being on this DQ trail that I'm on right now, I saw the shadow being sitting on that bench over there. It faded in and out of existence. So what I'm trying to say is that it was staticky. This type of shadow being is staticky. You know, it's all black. It was a humanoid figure, and it could speak too. Because when I went back, it was still there, and it spoke to me, and I didn't have any fear because of the fact that it said that you're stupid. And then I went to jail afterwards, and I suffered greatly. So the shadow being was warning me about something, and I was praying for the shadow being to help me. I was like in jail because I just saw it, and it was a supernatural creature. And it was shortly after that all that happened at the rodeo. You know what I mean? But that was in Merrill, and this is crazy, you know. But shadow peeping, shadow people, Wendigos, UFOs, them are all the things in the Holy Spirit. I saw it 2 times. One when I was sleeping and it made crinkling in my head, and I looked up and there was an orb, and it slowly moved away from me, and then it disappeared. And then I never slept in that room after that. I was creeped out. I slept in the living room after that. But what I'm trying to say is that that was when I was younger. But when I was 2018 or something like that, I seen that orb go over the library. Not even kidding. Orange orb that like this big, going like this, liquid light going behind it, like the sun. Real living light of this living orb that I saw going over the library. I could say a lot of stuff, but you know what I'm coming back to is the Hobbit Home Society. See, this is why this is all real and it needs to take place, because this is the doom and gloom of this planet. This is what the timeline and the agenda, and there's so many more dark minions than there are light minions on the planet. They're all just giving in to the program rather than resisting, because it's so difficult to be alone and resist when everybody else has a society, a program, a system, everything to follow. If you just jump out of that and you're all on your own doing what you try to do to make a society and to do everything like that, it just take so long. So it's so easy just to give in. But the narrow path few find, and that's the long route of fixing it. But once it's fixed, things can be as easy as this matrix of your commodities. But everything would be clean living with the planet. See what I mean? What I'm trying to say is that this is war going on the planet. 2024, China and Taiwan, I don't know if they are going to get into war. I hope not. But they said that they would. So they were getting in training for it like in 4 years ago. That was 2020. I'm pretty sure that happened. And 4 years later, or 2021 or 2022, but it was in a couple years, you know, that this would happen. So this is what I'm saying. This is why I want to make this podcast about the Hobbit Home thing and to get together and to make this change. Because the change is happening whether we like it or not. The world, if it blows up, it's going to have to start over. Let the game evolve again, and there's going to be different creatures on the damn planet, different exotic plants on the planet, but that's in the future. But what it'll do for it for a long time, if the nuclear bombs hit, it's a long time. It's going to be radiation. Things will mutate, die, and we'll be left with nothing. But we got to start doing these things now so that we can be thankful later. See what I mean? That's what we got to do. Be thankful later. 10-minute podcast, 11-minute podcast. Now, this is a good podcast. All right, I'm going to end on that note. Shout out to all the people that I follow on YouTube because they're like my soul tribe. And they've been helping me out because I've been on YouTube for a while, just listening to all these podcasts. So it's been intriguing me and motivating me to make more podcasts and do more things. So that's why I just wanted to dedicate that to that because I need more people, more interactions. I'm getting so lonely as a person. My motivation is running out. So how can I save the world when you're not motivated? Superman needs that fix this, save that boss. You know what I mean? Meaning like needs people, love. Love's a powerful thing. You know what I mean? Having no love is not good.